back to my channel, to Johara Loves TV. So I am dressed up. It is the 30th. I'm gonna dress up as my other costume for tomorrow for Halloween. But I am Jenny Weasley from Harry Potter. See, I have the Gryffindor robe. I only bought the Gryffindor robe for Jenny. I'm Hufflepuff. Eventually, I do want to get a Hufflepuff robe. But I have a broom, like Jenny. She's a Quidditch star. And then I have a wand. It's Harry's wand, but it's the only one I own. I bought this long before I bought the Jenny costume. But yeah, so usually it can light up here, but it doesn't have batteries. So yeah. I love Jenny. She is my favorite female. And I feel like she's very underrated. And I want to be Jenny. So yeah. But today is not a Harry Potter video. It is going to be Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because I don't actually think I've really talked about that show on this channel, but I love that show. I'm going to talk about the Halloween episodes. There are 7 seasons, and there's one Halloween episode in each season except for the last one, which is a bit annoying considering, Halloween's a big thing for that family and everything. But anyways, I'm going to talk about the Halloween episodes. So the first one in season 1 is called A Halloween Story, and it's not my favorite out of them, but basically she has to go to this family gathering with, Sabrina has to go to a family gathering with her aunts and a bunch of relatives she doesn't even really know, because this is only the 4th episode of the show, and she's only found out she was a witch in the 1st episode, so there's a lot of her witchy relatives she hadn't met at that point. A lot. So she was forced to go, but she also wanted to go to Harvey's Halloween party, because Libby was going to be there, and Libby had her sights on Harvey, but she liked Harvey. So she ended up doing this double, so that she could basically make a clone of herself to go to Harvey's party, so that he would notice her and not Libby. Though she could only get her clone to say like 3 sentences. But Sabrina was able to get there eventually, because Libby had convinced the clone to streak, and Harvey was really upset because he said that wasn't Sabrina, that wasn't who she was, and that's what she liked. And the clone did streak, but it was on her face, so when Sabrina got there, she convinced everyone that it was actually Libby. But yeah, I really ship Sabrina and Harvey, and I love their relationship. And I mean, it's not a bad episode, it's just not my favorite out of the Halloween episodes. There was also the whole thing with at the family event they went to, where she met her cousin, who is a child and evil and a brat, and every time someone does something to make her mad, she traps them in a jar, and she even traps Sabrina in a jar, but luckily they got Sabrina out. Oh, and her aunts gave her a reanimation, which is basically a way to talk to someone who had died, just for that day, just for a little while. And she chose to talk to her grandmother. Season 2, A River of Candy Corn runs through it. So she had her first party, and she was afraid of having a party because her family's weird, and she hangs out with mortals, even though her family's witches, and they don't exactly know how to act normal half the time, especially Hilda. But Sabrina, and then they also end up getting new furniture, but it turns out they accidentally bought talking furniture, so it's like everything seemed to be going wrong. But then when she was having her party, she was trying to make it too normal so that nobody suspects anything. But what she always forgot in the earlier seasons was that she was a witch. So, or on Halloween, isn't supposed to be normal, so if something abnormal happens on Halloween, then it's not like people are gonna... On Halloween's the day that no one's gonna suspect witch, because of the fact that it's Halloween, and there are contraptions and stuff these days that make things happen. That's abnormal. But yeah, and then the couches start talking, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of candy corn came in from the kitchen because they accidentally made too much candy corn, and now it was overflowing, and something else happened, but I don't remember. But they're like, they all started thinking, my laptop's gonna die, that was so cool, and asked her how she rigged it up, and then it became the best party of the year because of that. It became the best party because of that. Um, and then Salem decided to speak because everyone thought it was fake, so he was able to speak. And then this one jerky, not too smart, cool guy was like, say Asher, Asher, and he was like, what did he say? It wasn't stupid, was it? I don't remember, but it was something like that. But yeah, and we all love Salem. He's my favorite character. He's why I watch. Well, that and Sabrina and Harvey's relationship. But yeah, see, number 3 is Goodwill Haunting. This is my favorite of the Halloween episodes from season 3. Sabrina doesn't have to go to the family event this year like Zelda and Hilda do. So Zelda and Hilda get stuck to go to this one family event that they always had excuses to not be able to go, but then it turned out to be this whole thing where they were stuck in a mental institution and they were attacking them, but then it turned out it was a theme party, and yeah. But anyways, Sabrina had her best friend over, I forgot her name, Harvey, and another guy who was Harvey's friend, and I think maybe her best friend's crush or something. I'm not 100% sure. But then the woman who had invited Zelda and Hilda, since Sabrina couldn't come, sent Sabrina a present, and it was a doll. And the doll ended up being very creepy. It would make all these things happen and speak, and not to mention it ended up conjuring like Frankenstein and a werewolf or a bunch of things, and all started attacking her friends, and the doll was terrorizing them and Salem. It was hilarious. I like it whenever Sabrina went to go get Zelda and Hilda and tied up the doll before she left so it couldn't do any more damage with her friends, and then Salem started laughing, and then the doll ended up being next to him all of a sudden, and his reactions to some things are just the most hilarious thing ever, and I love it. But yeah. But I absolutely love that episode. I love the doll doing all those creepy things, and I love Salem's reactions to the doll, and it's the best thing ever. Number 4 is probably my second of the favorite of the Halloween episodes, is the Phantom Menace. So she's a senior in high school. She's 17. She is done with Halloween, but what she doesn't realize is that witches cannot run away from Halloween. So she got a job at this coffee house, and she started and then she was in charge of it, even though it was just her first day for the night. And then all of a sudden zombies start coming and start attacking, but then they came in and they were partying, not attacking her, which is fun. But yeah, so that's they start partying, and it was fun. And then she calls Salem to find out how to get rid of them, and she realizes that she has to truly embrace Halloween and stop running from it. So she decides to have a little fun and start TPing the place along with Harvey and his friend and her new friend, who's also a witch. I don't really remember her until I rewatched that episode because it's been a while since I've seen that season. But yeah, and So yeah, and then the zombies ended up leaving and everything was fine. And that was the Phantom Menace. So season 5 is the Halloween scene. So this is with her and her college friends. None of them like Halloween, but she's finally embraced it fully and realized she can't run from it. So she is trying to get them to embrace Halloween as well. So she convinces everyone to come to her Halloween party, which she secretly had at Zelda and Hilda's while they were gone. And she ends up renting some creatures. It was really last minute, but she was able to get some creatures, but then more creatures come and more ghouls come until it became a little out of hand. And then Zelda and Hilda came and everything was a mess. So she had to return all the monsters, clean up the mess. Then Frankenstein was missing. And they had to try to fix things with him and his wife, the Bride of Frankenstein. So it's a good Halloween episode. Not my favorite either. Like I said, my favorites are definitely Good Will Haunting and The Phantom Menace. But yeah, that is the Halloween scene. They all ended up liking Halloween. Well, not loving Halloween like Sabrina, but liking enough where they were excited for next year's Halloween party with Sabrina because they realized how serious she takes Halloween and how awesome her party was. And then the last of the Halloween episodes was from season 6, the Murder on the Halloween Express. So she was trying to find this awesome way to spend Halloween with her friends, but she couldn't come up with an invitation that actually sounded fun until she found out about Zelda's invitation about a Halloween train, a murder mystery sort of thing. And she convinces her boyfriend Josh to go along with her friends Harvey, because they're no longer together at this point, though they do get back together in the end. But Harvey, I forgot that one girl's name, the self-centered one. Then there's Roxy and Miles. Convinces them all to go, and she didn't realize it was a magic murder mystery train, so everyone actually became the characters. She was the detective, Josh was the one that was killed, and she had to discover who it was. Zelda, Hilda, and Salem finally made it there to try to help her, and thanks to Salem, they were able to figure out that the murderer was Sabrina, which was a nice twist. And then they were able to get off the train. But yeah, it was a alright episode. Still not my favorite, but the Halloween episodes on Sabrina was legendary. Seriously, they always went all the way out for the Sabrina the Teenage Witch Halloween episodes. The family went out. You know, it was a very important holiday for them because they are witches, and I absolutely love that about it. But yeah, as you could tell, I do enjoy Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I do want to start talking about it more. Maybe one of these days I'll do a top 10 Sabrina and Harvey moments, a top 20 Salem moments, because there's just too many to narrow down to 10. I love Salem so much, if you cannot tell already. But that's all. Avada Kedavra. So yeah. Please like and subscribe and comment your favorite Halloween episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and we'll chat below in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later.